Hey, what's up you guys? Putting a trailer hitch on your Chevy Cruze can take you to some really cool places, whether it be bike riding or even towing a small U-Haul trailer. So let's go ahead and break down that install for you. Alright guys, so this is a pretty simple install. So our first step is to go ahead and lower our exhaust. So we're going to go ahead and take a strap and we're going to support it before we lower it. Alright, back over here by the muffler, we're going to go ahead and remove these two nuts which secure our exhaust hanger bracket, and we're going to use a 13mm socket. Next, we're going to remove the heat shield, and we're going to do that by removing these three speed nuts right here. And we're going to go ahead and use needle nose pliers and just loosen it up a bit, and then you can get it by hand. All right, with that last nut off, we're going to go ahead and pull it up out of these two clips. Now we'll go ahead and pull down on the heat shield and remove it. All right, to give our hitch access to the attachment holes, we're going to need to trim our heat shield. Now, when you put the heat shield up, the instructions wanted us to cut a little bit further down here, but as you can see, that wouldn't give us room for our attachment holes. So we have determined that we will cut a little bit further down and we'll follow that path. All right, we're going to go ahead and use our air saw and trim our heat shield. And then we'll go ahead and reinstall the outermost part of that heat shield. All right, on the passenger side, we're going to go ahead and remove our underbody panel. We're going to do that by removing these three screws right here, and we're going to use a 7mm socket. And there's one right here in the wheel well, and using a ratchet, we'll get this last 7mm. All right, we're going to go ahead and remove three plastic nuts using a 10mm socket. It is right here, and one back here. All right. So you don't have to completely take that nut off. It's designed to slide right out, so you just have to loosen it up a bit. All right, so still over here on the passenger side, we're gonna go ahead and put our carriage bolts and blocks into place. Now we'll be using this attachment hole and this attachment hole for our two bolts and blocks. And using our fish wire, we'll use this hole as our access hole to fish it through. All right, so we're gonna take our fish wire and feed it through our attachment hole and through our access hole. And then we'll attach our carriage bolt and block. And then feeding the block first, we'll feed our bolts into place. And we'll repeat through the other hole. And we'll leave our fish wires on and repeat the same process on the driver's side. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and line up our hitch into position by lining up those attachment holes with the carriage bolts already in place. we'll be using our U-Haul exclusive hitch jack. If you don't have a jack, make sure you grab an extra set of hands, as the hitch is a little heavy, and by dropping it you could cause damage to your vehicle. We're going to go ahead and feed our fish wire through our attachment holes. That way if our hitch knocks our bolts back into the frame, we can go ahead and pull it back through. All right, back on the passenger side, we're going to go ahead and remove our fish wire, and we will go ahead and install our provided flange nut. And we'll do it with the other bolts. All right, now that we have all of our hardware into place, we're going to go ahead and torque our bolts to the manufacturer's specifications on the instructions using an 18mm socket. All right, so our next step is to put our underbody panel back up on our passenger side. Now, when you go to put it up, our hitch blocks it and doesn't allow it to go all the way. So we're going to go ahead and cut out this little slot right here that will allow it to go back into place. And we're going to use our air saw to go ahead and make that cut. All right, now we're going to go ahead and line up our underbody panel with the existing holes and reattach our hardware. All right, next we're going to go ahead and put our exhaust back in place. Next we'll remove our strap, which was supporting our exhaust. To help you choose your ball mount height or what kind of bike rack would work best for your vehicle, let's go ahead and look at a few of the measurements for this hitch. This is an 1.25" receiver, and from the pinhole to the end of the bumper is 5 inches. And from the ground to the top of the inside of the receiver is 12 inches. Thank you for watching our video. Have fun, be safe, and enjoy the outdoors.